What's up, everyone? This is Nate, and I am back with my second Out of the Theater review for this weekend. Now, I did go see the latest Kevin Costner film. Kevin Costner. I don't know the last movie he directed. It's been a while, but I know he still stars in movies. He stars in Yellowstone, and he directed this Western that is apparently going to be in 2 parts that are coming out this year, but apparently there's like maybe 4. I don't know. When I looked on Letterboxd, it said 4. But I know for a fact there's 2. One comes out this weekend. One comes out in August. And I did check out this first one. It's called Horizon, an American Saga Chapter One. A long title, a lot of words. That's what it is. So I did go see this movie, all 3 hours of it. And I'm going to give you my 2 cents on it. But before I do, if you would, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell icon. That way you get notified every time new videos drop. Give me a thumbs up down below. And leave me a comment about your opinion on this movie, if you saw it or if you didn't see it. If you don't want to, if you think it looks dumb, I want to know. Let me just start off by saying Westerns, I like some, I don't like some. I haven't seen a million of them. I'm not an expert, but I've seen my fair share of Westerns. As I've gotten older, I've gotten more into the genre. You know, I'm not like a diehard Western fan or anything like that. However, I will tell you right now, none of that factors into my review of this movie. This movie got some good and it's got some bad. This is the theme of this weekend for me, I guess. Quiet Place had a little bit of both. This one has a bit of both. Let's start with the positives, of course. Great cast. A lot of people in this movie. You got, Sienna Miller, Jenna Malone, Kevin Costner, Luke Wilson pops up at one point, Sam Worthington, Michael Rooker. I liked Michael Rooker in this movie, by the way. He was very good. Danny Houston. Just like a lot of people you've seen before. Abby Lee is in this movie. So that was kind of cool. You know, a big, kind of an all-star cast. I mean, they're not all like A-list, but a lot of people you've known and you've seen in a lot of stuff. Good, solid actors, good, solid cast. I like that. I think the way it's shot is very nice. It looks good. Kevin Costner got a good eye. You have this, it's very cinematic looking, which is, I liked a lot. I thought the way he captures these locations was great. For me, the best part of this movie is the score. The music in this movie is absolutely fantastic. I believe John Debney did the score. It is beautiful. There are parts where it sounds very much like what you would think. It almost sounded like when I go to like Disney and you go to like Frontierland or something. It kind of has that music. But then there's these like certain moments of the score that are very beautiful, just like an amazing sound score. I would definitely listen to this on its own. It's great. But there's some negatives here. Number one, this movie it gets boring at a lot of parts. I was definitely like, let's move along. Like, this movie's not what I thought it was going to be. First of all, the trailer has parts that are not in this movie. The trailer has parts that are in the second movie. So that was misleading. I was waiting for something certain to happen. In the trailer, I was like, that looks kind of awesome. Never happens. So that's definitely in part 2. So that was annoying. But there's a lot of scenes where, like, this movie is not what I thought. It is, like, pretty much just a bunch of people. Like, there's so many characters in this movie, I can't even tell you. There's, like, 50 characters in this movie. And it just shows them living in the West, like going out to the frontier and moving out west. And it's way more like just kind of showing that life rather than a dramatic or interesting storyline. The first hour is pretty good. There is an inciting incident that kind of kicks off the whole thing. So the whole movie takes place in a 4-year span, apparently. It starts off in 1859, and then it jumps a couple years forward to 1861. It takes place during the Civil War. And you get this, trying to create this town, and then there's Native Americans, and there's this kind of fight between the white people and the Native Americans. And that inciting incident leads to a lot of other stuff. However, they also show a couple of scenes in the beginning that don't pay off until way later that I forgot about. I was like, oh, I don't even remember that this character was in this movie. They constantly introducing new characters. I know for a fact, I checked my phone, and it was like 2 hours in, and they introduce new characters 2 hours into the movie. This feels like it should have been a TV show. 100 million billion %. This should have been a TV series. 1 hour episodes. This felt like 3 1-hour episodes as a movie. I definitely think it is a very well done TV show. But as a film, I don't think it really works in a lot of ways. The storyline is not that interesting other than people just living in the West. Like, it is very TV. I don't know what else to say. I don't know how else to put it. I know Kevin Costner was one of the writers and he directed it. I think he did a good job directing. But again, to me, while it looks cinematic and sounds cinematic because of the music, the story feels like a TV story where you have all these characters and how they intertwine and you're meeting new. There's some stuff that like I still don't know what it has to do with anything, and maybe in the second one it'll pay off more. So I don't know. It's kind of a miss for me. Technically, it's very good. Story wise, it's not my cup of tea. There's some good violence in it. I like the action, but there's not a lot, and I don't know. I'm gonna give it a 5. I'm right down the middle with this movie. I'm gonna give it a 5. I was a little bit disappointed, but we'll see how this part 2 turns out. Anyway, I will be back next week with another Out of the Theater review for a little movie called Maxine. So until then, take it easy.